9:13 here on your Monday morning, and just last week an apartment fire left 11 people displaced right here in OKC, and we do continue to move into those colder months, and crews report more fires at homes and apartments. So in studio this morning to talk more about resources for fire victims, we have Mary Jane Kaufman with the Red Cross. Mary Jane, thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's start with this first question. Kind of walk us through what typically the Red Cross sees during these colder months.
So fires, home fires, apartment fires are actually the #1 disaster that we respond to at the Red Cross. Many people know of us when there's a larger disaster like a tornado or something, but we've got volunteers who are responding every day to those fires that happen and can devastate a family just as easily as another kind of disaster. And so for us, it's getting that call, having folks who are trained to respond and see how we can help. And it actually starts long before that. We have a lot of ways that we try to provide resources that help people be prepared ahead of time. So it could be training on fire safety, free smoke alarms, those kinds of things.
That's so important, preparation, so you're not in that situation. But I do want to go back to what you said. You know, you all respond to calls every day. Can you just talk about what's response been like just for the beginning of this month? How busy have you all been?
It's been very busy, and we always see that happen as the months get colder. People start to use alternate means of heating, or with at Christmas times they may be overloading electrical outlets and things like that. And so we see that uptick, and we've definitely felt it this year with people needing us, for example, with the fire last week, but even as recently as this morning, we got a call in the metro area to help a family that's had a fire.
Wow. So walk me through what happens when you do get that call. How do you what happens next after you make contact with these families?
So we work a lot with our fire departments who help us know that indeed a fire has happened, and once we can get the information to connect with that family, it's really about meeting them where they are. Different families have different resources. Every one of them, their recovery path is going to look differently based on what's happened. And so we start with getting our teams in the field there to meet with the family and start to learn what needs do they have and get some information. Our focus is on immediate emergency assistance. So we don't necessarily fill the role that like the insurance company does or other resources, but we definitely want to make sure that people have a safe place to stay. They're getting some of those basic things replaced. We always come with blankets and hygiene kits and things to help them with wherever they may need to stay right at the moment. And then we start working with them and have our volunteers who contact them even after that first night that we meet with them to see how their recovery is going and if there's more that we can do or more resources we can connect them to in the community.
And just going on with that, the immediate resources. So kind of walk me through, what are those resources? What's the range here?
So it really is about what does that need? Do they need someplace safe to stay for a little bit until they can figure out next steps? Or is it about replacing medications they've lost or helping with medical equipment? The things that are really critical to that next moment is the kind of thing that we help with, and it may take the form of some specific resources or potentially even some financial assistance.
Let's talk about just how critical these resources are for people. You never want to see anybody in that situation, but they do happen, and just talk about how important this is, the work that y'all are doing.
It's so much that piece of there's an immediate need, how can we help? And a lot of times it's folks who've most of the time never even imagined they'd be in that situation. So even helping them think, oh, I do need this resource so that I can get my family in a safe place. The other thing too that can't be undervalued is just the fact that our volunteers are there for them. A lot of times it's about just listening or comforting, just the family or the individual knowing that someone's on their side when this thing has happened to them.
That's so important and well put there. What's the best way for families to get in contact with you and ways that they can find some information about the Red Cross?
The best way is to call 1-800-RED-CROSS, and that gets to our dispatchers who are on call 24/7. There's also a lot of good information on redcross.org, and then for preparing on our emergency app that's free in your app store. Just look for Red Cross apps and there's an exclamation point, and it's a great way to get additional information.
I'll definitely be downloading that app. Prevention is key, right?
it can make all the difference in the world as to how successful a person is in recovering. Just to have a few basic things in place, like please, if you haven't yet, check your smoke detector today and make sure it's working. And if it's not, give us a call and we'll get a team to get some free ones installed for you.
All right, Mary Jane, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. You have a lot of great information for people out there. The Red Cross, it helps so many people, our neighbors here in Oklahoma City, all right?
Thank you so much. It's really important to us, and we appreciate the chance to share the information.
Awesome. We have more information up on KOCO.com, our Scene On section, where you can get some more information about the Red Cross. But